Hi, this is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. It's Wednesday, time for our Wednesday Live. Rocky says hi. Say hi, Rocky. Say hi, Rocky. And excited to be here this Wednesday. I started a little early, just kind of started rolling the camera so that I could start making the project. We have a really neat project. It's a little might be a little long, so I wanted to start early to get some of the pieces made. This is your last week. You have till the 31st to take advantage of the paper sale. You get a pretty good deal for like $9 for like $11.50 is the usual price for some of the paper packs. 12 by 12 DSP, really good deal. So please take advantage of that. And for those of you that have already put in your order, I thank you very much for your business. Next week, myself and I believe Catherine will be, and some of the other demonstrators that may be watching are going to be on stage. We're starting to receive our swag bags, and we're kind of excited to see what they have to do, what they're going to offer as far as ideas and projects, because the new mini catalog will be coming out in January. Stamping Up, instead of coming up with an annual catalog, which is usually what they've done in the past, they're going to extend the annual catalog for later on in the year, and then this is simply going to be another mini catalog that's going to have a lot more, I guess, it's more for the avid stamper, I guess. Okay, so having said that, please say hi if you're logged in. I have a couple of minutes after 7, and I'm hoping that some of my other stamping people are going to be joining us. But let me show you what we're going to do tonight. This is what we're going to do tonight. I made a 6x6 card, and then instead of an envelope, I just built a very simple little box. And I used the paper from the Poinsettia suite that is in the holiday catalog, and I just kind of wrapped it up with some really pretty green ribbon. Everything is red and white except for the ribbon. So let me show you what this is going to look like. And I want you to stay till the end, because I'm going to show you another project that I put together that I'm also going to be offering. A 6x6 card. And I'm going to open it up. And this card is called the Hip to be Square Fancy Fold. So we're going to learn a fancy fold, and it's really kind of, it's not hard, but you can really have a lot of fun with it. So let me show you how it opens. You have these two. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay, so you have these two pieces here, and you pull it apart, and there it is. And let me see if I can just make sure. Can you see how pretty that is? Look at that. I just think that is just so pretty. It's triangles, 6x6. So you're going to need a sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, and then we're going to cut it up. I have this neat, and it folds. Let me show you how it folds. I don't know why I have this little paper back here. Hold on. And I'm going to, let's see, we're going to fold it in like this. And it comes like that. Make a little box, and you put it in the box. Right there. There it is. And then we'll wrap it up with ribbon. So before we get started, I see a question here. You have 2 different websites to order from. Which one should we use? I only have one online store. I have a blog that is StampArtConnection.com. And if you go on to StampArtConnection.com, you'll see where it has a tab for shopping. And that is the website that you want to use. And let me just go ahead and show you. So here is my online store. You can go directly to my online store, or you can simply go to StampArtConnection.com, select Click to Shop at the top of the menu, and you will go directly to my online store where all my offers are. Here's our project, Peace and Joy. I'm using paper from the Poinsettia set. Take it out, and this is kind of neat because if you pivot, you open it up, and there it is. It's just gorgeous. It's not really hard. So you're going to need 2 pieces of 6x6 or 12x12 cardstock, and you're going to need some, I'm layering this, and this is also a good project to use for your, with the DSP. So I have some of this is retired DSP, but I really liked it because it kind of went with the whole kind of red. You might recognize this from the poinsettia. This is the vellum that comes with that suite. And I'm going to show you a really neat trick to ensure that your vellum sticks and does not show any of the glue instead of using this kind of glue to hold it down. So I came up with a neat trick. So, so there it is. And I also used, you might remember that these were the Forever Gold, and these were the little specialty gold pieces that we used, and that is in the annual catalog. So we're going to use one of these to put on our poinsettia. And I was making this just before we started this evening. So let's go ahead and put this aside, and let me show you the pieces and parts. Here are the 2 pieces. Now I'm using, because there are so few colors for 12x12, not every color is in 12x12. I just decided to use the 12x12 Whisper White. So this is a 12x12 sheet that I cut 6x12. And now I'm going to bring out my scoreboard, and I am going to score at 6 inches. And I'm going to score at 6 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to score that, but we're going to have to score one more time because we're dealing with triangles. And I like to use my cutting board for that. So let me get my scoring tool here, and I'm just going to score that. Now, we're going to put this together, and it's going to be kind of put together like this. So I am going to, and let me show you my sample here. We are going to do the, and it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to go ahead and do the, my diagonals from the top corner. So let me just go over here, and I'm going to go this one from the top corner, and I'm just lining it up with the fold right here, and I'm lining up this point into my my slot. This is my score tool, and I'm just going to score that down. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to line this up again, the top with where this crease is right here. Make sure that that is nicely lined up. I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to score that. So that is now nicely scored. Put this aside, and I'm going to fold, and we're just going to go ahead and make these triangle folds right here. And just make sure that this does fold neatly. There. So we have our triangle. Now we can put this like this. There it is. Okay. All right. So you got to put your triangles together so that you kind of have them open up. They kind of fold like this. So I'm going to open that up, open this up. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to add some, I'm just going to add some glue. It kind of makes the card a little bulky, but I think it's kind of nice because that's where the box comes in. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put that right there. So there is our card. There's our base of our card. And if I have any glue pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe them off. Okay, so let me wipe that off. Let me bring my thing back in here. All right, so now I'm going to take some DSP, and I liked this. I like this piece right here, and I liked this flocked paper, and then I like these two red pieces to kind of counterbalance like that. Okay. Now these are 5.5 by 5.5 square. So they're 5.5 by 5.5 square for making these triangles. So you just need one 5.5 by 5.5 piece, and then you cut this in half, and you have two pieces that you're going to use for your card. Now I did the same thing with this piece, and the other piece I used on this side over here. So I'm going to use it here, and the same with this flock paper here, which is going to be this side. Now, because this is on Whisper White, I want to add some background. So I am going to layer these on real red cardstock. And the real red cardstock is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now this is vellum, and I'm going to show you how we're going to adhere this onto this red cardstock so that it's very smooth and you don't see any glue. But let's go ahead and put these aside and use our silicone mat to put our triangles on our real red cardstock. Okay, so that one is there. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of vellum, and I'm using these sheets. These are adhesive sheets, the multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and these are in the annual catalog. I went ahead and I cut a piece, and this piece is actually like 5 by 5 because this is 5.5 by 5.5. So I cut it a little bit smaller. Let me show you. You can kind of see it's a little bit smaller than the vellum. But I'm going to turn the vellum upside down, and then we're going to open this up. Let's see if I can use my little tool here. Okay. All right, so this is the sticky side right here, and I'm just going to lay that down on top of my triangle like this. And this is a really good to use for any card that you want to use this beautiful vellum, and for any vellum in general. And I'm going to show you a couple more projects if you stay to the end of the video, what I did to with some other vellum. Okay, now I'm just peeling it off, and the glue is on the back of my sheet. And now I'm going to put it on my matting here, my real red. I'm just going to lay that down right there. And look how absolutely perfect this comes out. There's no glue, there's no show of any kind of tape. It just goes on absolutely beautiful, and it looks like the paper itself is kind of flocked. So that's a very, very good tip. All right, so I have all my pieces here, all my triangles. So now I'm just going to grab, and I was embossing this piece because this is going to be our middle. It's going to go right there. So let's go ahead and glue our pieces on, and I'm going to kind of start with looking at what's on top and what's in the front. Okay, I want this one is going to go here, that way it's right side up, and then this one is going to go there. So let me go ahead Let me grab my silicone mat. This silicone mat is so, it's so handy for gluing on your surfaces because you don't have to worry about getting it anywhere else. Okay, so this goes right here in the middle, and this piece here is, the red is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and the white is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I just used a scoreboard to just score the edge so it's got kind of a pretty border. Okay, so now we're going to close it up. Now, here's where the magic starts. We're going to use this, which is going to go on top of our card, and we're going to make a block that's going to sit right here. Now, this block here is Whisper White, which is 4 by 4 square, and this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. And what I use, I have a couple of embossing folders. And let me see if I can show them to you, because I want to show you I use 2 different embossing folders. This one here is the Parisian Flourish that I use for this one. And then this one here is the Stylish Scroll. The Stylish Scroll. So they kind of offer kind of some different textures for your card. So I just kind of wanted to point that out to kind of make your card a little bit fancy. So I'm going to use, I've used the Parisian Flourish. Let me get my little piece here, and I'm going to glue this down right here. And I have to make sure I get enough glue because since it's embossed, it's got all kinds of little nooks and crannies. So I want to make sure that I get, you know, the glue and all those nooks and crannies. And then I'm just going to center it right here on this 4 by 4 piece of Whisper White. So there it is. Now I want to place my pretty poinsettia, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to open up, and I think what I want to do is I think I want to use this one here. And I told you, I think a couple months ago, I said, you better expect me to be using these wonderful Forever Gold Specialty Designer Series paper because they are just gorgeous for Christmas. And I put this together earlier, so now the glue is nice and dry. I want to put that right there. Isn't that pretty? That is going to be so nice. So all I have to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put my glue right here. Turn this over, and then we're just going to line it up like that. And there it is. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to put my poinsettia in the center, and because this is foil, what I want to do is I'm going to use some glue dots. So let me get some, or rather, I'm getting confused. I want to use some dimensionals. So I like to take my dimensionals and I'm going to pull in a little bit so you can see what I'm going to kind of put my dimensionals kind of in between my petals here so that I also kind of catch that other layer. And then I'm just going to put that right there like that. And there we go. Now that's a little bit of glue, but I'm not going to worry about it because it will dry clear. But there is our center. So now we're going to put that in the middle of our card. Do you see how easy this card is to put together? It is so easy. So this is going to go like this. We're going to adhere it onto this corner here, or I could adhere it to this corner, and it's going to open like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to adhere it over here on this. So if you'll notice that I have here, I have this corner matches right here, and then this corner over here to this side. So all I have to do is put I'm going to put tear tape right along this side here. Let me grab my tear tape. And there it is. So you can see how really pretty, let me back out so you can see how pretty this opens up. Okay, there's our card, and then there it is. Isn't that beautiful? That is just so pretty. I really, really like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's make a box for our card. So I cut both my pieces here, and you can see this is the top. So this is just a little bit smaller, and I scored it the 5/8. So we're going to score this one 5/8 as well. So let me bring in, and I like making this card. I found it easier to score the 5/8 along one side and just keep turning it. When I tried to do another measurement, it was a little bit off, and I wasn't getting the dimensions I wanted. So I just kind of did it like that. Okay. Very, very simple box. So I'm going to grab my scissors. Well, first I want to score. So let me just go ahead and let's use my bone folder and just, you know that I like to use it for either the top or the bottom of any kind of box. Now, if you also go on my blog, you'll know that I'm offering a workshop on how to make that card I showed last week with the church and the dome. All right. So here's these little square that's right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut one side of the square like that. And that is going to fold, and I want this to fold inside like that. There we go. Okay, so that is our box. Now I'm going to do the same with this. I went ahead and I used my bone folder. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to clip four. And the mistake I made when I put glue is that I put the glue looking at the bottom of the lid. Okay, and when you put the glue on the bottom of the lid on this tab, it forces you to have to adhere it to the outside. We don't want to do that. You want to flip your box over, and you want to put your glue on looking at the top of your box. Now, I really like this stamping seal. It really is, it's really nice. You can just go ahead and get it on there. Okay, so now, because I did it that way, see, I can go ahead and I can fold these inside, and my little folds will not show on the outside of my box. So that is how you make sure that you get your tabs on the inside of your lid. You see how pretty? See how pretty that is? Okay, so there's a little tip there. Now I'm going to do my bottom. Same thing. And it just folds and press. And you have, there's our box. Now look how pretty. Look how pretty. Look how nice. Look at that. It's perfect. Look at that. What a beautiful box. I am so happy with this box because I had to sit down and figure out my dimensions, and boxes can sometimes be a challenge, and you don't want to see all my scrap boxes. Hey, so there's my box for my beautiful new card that's going to lay in here perfectly. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to decorate the top of the box. Now I'm going to take, to decorate the top of my box, I'm going to take my a piece of Whisper White, and this is going to go here. I'm going to have a piece of Real Red. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm putting this flocked paper right in the middle. And I've already put the paper adhesive. Now the paper I use for this one is this roll that you can get at Amazon. Now the reason why I used it is because it was the perfect width for this, which is 4 3/4, I think. It's about 5 inches. So I used this, whereas the triangle was a little bit more complicated. So I wanted to use this flat sheet here for the multi-adhesive sheet. So you've got, I mean, you always have options, and you don't have to price yourself out of the market with any of these. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and again, I made sure that this is not completely to the edge. And let me find my tool. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to pull it off. And then I'm just going to lay this very neatly in the center of my, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That, again, it just comes out so pretty. It is just totally adhered, and it looks fantastic. So now I can go ahead and put that one on the top of that. But before I do that, I have some of these wonderful dies. And let me show you. This is a great set. This is the Joy dies. I love this set. You've seen me use the Joy, but you get kind of the skinny outside, and you get an outline, and then the big outline. And I also took the word peace, so you get these other pieces, and I'm going to show you here in a minute. So, like, here is my piece that I cut, and it's already, the paper's already off. But there are all the different dies that you can layer to create this really pretty, these words. And I also layered this on this paper, and I'll show you. These are the foam adhesive sheets that kind of pop up your words. So these are the dies I used. So to begin with, I took a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I adhered the foam adhesive sheet on top of it, and then I cut out this piece here, which is the bottom of our piece, and then I cut out our Joy right here, and then I used gold, and what I did is I made sure that the back of all these had, and I believe this one has it too. Yes, all of these have the adhesive sheet on the back, okay? This one has it, so this is going to go here. Here's my joy, which is going to go there. And then I have these little letters that I cut out of glitter paper, and here's my piece right here. So I'm going to put these together because I'm going to put joy and peace on the top, just like I did my other one. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to use some tear tape because I want to adhere this. And yeah, this is a small one. I'm just going to adhere this to the back here. I took the trash can apart. I looked under everything under all the furniture, and I couldn't find my little cap that goes on this. So I don't like to misplace things. Okay, so I'm just going to put that right there. Look at that. There's that. Now we're going to put more tear tape on the back of this because this is going to go on the back of our box. So let's go ahead and do that. I know this is boring, but when I do that, after I do our live, I download the video and I edit my video, and then I put it back. I republish it on my YouTube video so that it has all the information. It has the description. If I misspoke, I corrected some of the things I may have misspoke during my video. So if, having watched the live with me, if you still want to go back and review a project like the project we did last week, you will find that the information on the products they're going to show up on the screen. So please go back and take a look at those videos because it also kind of helps my statistics. All right, I'm taking the top and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to center this right here like that. I'm going to turn it around and I'm just going to press on it. Okay, so this is ready for our letters. And look how easy this is to put together. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my joy, and again, let me get in here because I really think this is this is one of those sets. Okay, ladies, you have to listen to me when I say this. This is one of these classic sets that if it goes into your Christmas stash for your cards, you're going to have this a long time. This is classic. It's not going to get old. You're not going to get tired of it. You can make fast cards with these letters, and I'm just having a heck of a time trying to get this thing off over here. So there it is. So these are the kind of things I like to let you know that. Okay, so this is my adhesive part. Here's my whisper white. Now you can use anything. You can cut. There's some felt in the Christmas catalog. You can use felt to cut that out. The felt cuts really nicely. Again, I took a piece of the gold red glitter paper, and I'm going to kind of just peel off the letters. I'm going to have to punch out some of this glitter paper right here. And I'm going to tell you, this stuff is very sticky. Try not to. Okay, there's that piece. Okay, so now I'm just going to line my joy up right here. And just kind of line it up. Oops. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so there's my joy. And now we're going to do my piece. Here's the Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to grab my gold. And I'm going to peel off the back because I added that adhesive to the back. Makes it so much easier. So you don't have to deal with any glue with that adhesive, the adhesive strips. It's wonderful. Look how easy this is. I'm even doing it upside down. That's pretty good, huh? Upside down, peace, upside down. Okay, this one came here's the little framelit. So it didn't want to come out of the little thing, so I have to kind of carefully pull it out. All right, so let me see what I have here. I need to punch this little piece out here. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around because I'm going to show you. I'm just going to line up my P right in there. And it's just like writing. I'm just going to line up my letters. And I'm going to kind of squish them in a little bit. Use my thing. There you go. See how I kind of squished it in? And if I squish it in, it'll fall right into place. And there it is. There's my piece. So I have peace and joy. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take off this adhesive strip. I'm going to pull out a little bit so we can kind of center. I want this one there. And I want this one right there. I like that. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'm just going to press it. And here we go. We have our box for peace and joy. And now I can take some of this great ribbon that I have. And let me see, I have, it must be about 28, about 30, 28 plus about 38 inches. And I'm just going to wrap this around like this. And I'm going to tie a very pretty, this is the only thing that's green on my box. Oh, that's a really good idea, Jackie. Okay, and there it is. Isn't that pretty? So let me show you. Here's the other one that I did earlier. And let me just kind of get these out of the way. So this is the other peace and joy that I did. And I just want to take this off so you can see how pretty. Now, when I was showing this to my sister, she loved it. And she said, you know what? You can give someone the card and then they can use this to give a gift, or they can put a gift in here with this card because it's just really, really beautiful. I mean, look at that. There they are, both my cards. Now this one here, I took a little bit of red and I added it to the edges. I kind of used a bit of a sponge dauber, so you see that the edges here are a little bit dark. I can do that to this one, but I chose not to. I could go back and do it if I wanted to. Okay, so there's these cards. Now let me show you another one I made. Here's another one I made right here. This one, I used some old retired paper, but I did use the builder bow. And this is that neat gold, I guess, cording that we talked about last week. Okay, so we're going to take this off and we're going to open this box and look what we have in here. Now I'm going to pull in just a little bit because I want to show you that this was also made. It doesn't have, it's more like 3x3 compared to this one that is 4x4. It's smaller because I used the little snowman. And again, I used some vellum that I embossed using one of the embossing folders, and then I used that adhesive sheet behind, and look how pretty it came out. There's no glue or anything, and it just came out really nice. Now, the little snowman, if you'll notice, and I want to get in here because I was kind of proud of this. The little snowman has a little scarf out of ribbon. Isn't that cute? I thought that was so cute. So that's how I did the little snowman. And if you'll notice that there's these snowmen, oops, sorry about that. These snowmen in the picture, I used Pool Party to kind of shade the way it's shaded on this picture. And this is last year's snowman paper. I just had some paper. Oops, I'm just going all over the place. I just had some extra paper, and this was my first card. So I was just kind of playing around with how I was going to put this card together. So then you open this up, and there is your card. I used some of the paper that is with the trim the town. This is some of that flocked paper, and I believe I can't think of the name of this color here. It's not real red. It's another color. But I just really loved this, and then I made my little drawing down here, and I colored him. So here is a card that I made using that same it's hip to be square fancy folds card. So there's 3 cards, right? Plus this box. Now let me show you what you can do. You don't have to do 6 by 6. You can take this same format and break it down to 3 by 3. And what's neat about this is that these 3 by 3 cards will fit in the acetate boxes that are in the annual catalog, as well as the 3 by 3 envelopes. And look how cute this is. And I'm going to pull in because I just think this is just really, really cute. Again, I used some of the paper from one of the Christmas sets that's in the current catalog, and I used this particular sentiment because it uses the joy in there. And then I have another joy. Now you'll notice the difference between this joy and this joy. I just want to show you is that this one I put up on the foam. This one I just used plain paper cardstock, and I used the white for this second part right here that I used the gold. So there's just different ways that you can use this these dies. I really like them. Okay, so there's that card. So let's put that card right there. Now I'm going to show you another card. So again, you can use the same fancy fold technique, okay? And you can downsize it to 3 by 3. And here's another card I put together. And there is that. Isn't that pretty? I used the same cardstock, matching up my, I think I used shaded spruce and real red. And then I think you can recognize some of that paper. This was simply a die, punch die, and then this is one of the greenery sets. I used some retired rhinestones, a little bit of a ribbon, and that just says seasoned greeting. And what's really nice is that this great big sentiment fits on this whole card, and it looks really cute. And then you can just fold it up, and there it is, ready to go into a 3 by 3 envelope or one of the acetate cards or acetate boxes that's in the catalog. So there we go. You have a full technique that you can use for large 6x6 or 3x3, all depending what you want to do. There's lots of ways, especially with the DSP paper sale. Don't pass that up. Take advantage of the DSP paper sale and get your cardstock. So I hope you enjoyed the video tonight. I had a lot of fun. It just started with a simple card, and then, you know, it's easy to make a box. So I hope you try it. I was really excited to see some of the other cards that you made using the corner box. I wanted to show you about another card that I made. And this one, I used the mason jar. And you can see I have the, embossed in gold. And then I've got some of these shaker pieces. These come from the annual catalog. It's called Sequins for Everything. And you just get a ton of sequins in here. So I just threw in some pretty colors. I used the curvy framelits, and I used the DSP, and I just kind of like played around with that. So then you open this up, and I had to cut open that hole, and then there is the card, and there is your sentiment. So it was just something that I thought I would try, because I love making that other card. And if you go on my blog, stampartconnection.com, you go under workshops, you will find where I'm offering workshops, or I'm offering PDFs that you can get. So that's all I have for this Wednesday live. Yes, thank you for liking my cards. Just letting you know that paper sale ends on the 31st of October. So don't forget to make your purchases. And I've showed you some really great ideas that you can use for all your DSP to make some really cool projects, be them autumn projects or be them Christmas projects. So if there aren't any other questions, then I'm just 5 minutes over. It was a big project. I worked really hard to get everything together in advance so that I didn't keep you waiting for too long. So thank you so much. Kat Chancellor, stampartconnection.com, and Stamp Art Connection. Happy stamping. Rocky says good night, and please stay well.